The Lexus LFA is the most iconic sports car, well, one of the most iconic sports cars out of Japan in a long time. It has a type of otherworldly status similar to the GTR, the first generation NSX. What we have coming out of Japan is the most recent update on Toyota's GR GT3, which is, let's go ahead and bring up this car. This was released Tokyo Auto Salon early 2022. But this vehicle looks like Batman's number one choice leaving the Batcave. Like, it looks unbelievable. Now, most of the rumors surrounding it is that, okay, well, this is actually the successor to the LFA on the Lexus lineup. But what's interesting is that it debuted as a Toyota GR product. Now, when was the last time Toyota ever had a flagship sports car? I mean, the Supra has never been able to be able to hold a candle to this sort of design and capabilities, being a GT3 focused design. So let's get into Best Car Mag's recent take and the latest developing news around this V8. Yes, the return of a V8, or should I say the continuation of a V8 in the Lexus lineup. Now, it's not a V10 like the original LFA, and I don't think they're going to call this LFA2. I think that it's just it just makes the most sense as it is the next true flagship of a performance car for Lexus. So let's get into what they're saying. If you guys are excited, smash that like button, subscribe for more updates, because it's not just the LFA2 or the LFR that we're talking about here. Best Car has other details like the Mazda CX-5 next gen coming out, and other models as well. This is one being exciting because it has a lot of implications to the Lexus brand. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull up this scan, read what it has to say in English here, and get excited for it. All right, so let's go and flip this. Well, first of all, this rendering isn't what it's going to look like. It's going to look more similar to what I just showed you guys. So let's pull up this again. They're just putting their own different spin on it. Now, you have to realize that there will be some design differences if there is a Toyota version. Keep that in mind. Lexus would have its own flair. Toyota would have its own flair. But what if there is no Toyota variant? And that's what we are going to discuss right now. So let's get into this. A system with an output of 900 horsepower. Well, it can't be a GT3 car because a GT3 car's horsepower limit is between 500 to 600 horsepower. So what is this car doing having 900 horsepower? Well, they're saying it's going to be a V8 twin turbo hybrid. Now, if they make a GT3 production car variant of it, they can take the hybrid system out. It would be a lot lighter, be very limited quantities, kind of like the 911 GT3s. It'll still have a twin turbo V8, but output would be between 500 and 600 horsepower. However, just like the 911, you'll be able to get different flavors of this vehicle with more power. So this car is being developed as a successor as the LFA, and it is expected to be released under the GR brand, the Gazoo Racing. How does that make sense? How can it be a successor to a Lexus flagship but still be released under the GR brand? Okay, they're saying also that the layout is similar to the old LFA. No, it's not a V10. We've already discussed that. But it's going to have a transaxle in the back. So it's going to have a very balanced weight distribution with putting the transmission within the rear axle area. Instead of a full carbon fiber tub that you had in the LFA, they're going to use carbon fiber with aluminum here. That means, well, in some ways, it's not going to be quite as lightweight in theory as the LFA. I mean, when you have twin turbo in here, I would assume it's going to be heavier than the LFA, especially with the hybrid variants. But in theory, it could be cheaper than the LFA. And they're saying it is a catalog model. What does that mean? Well, they only made 500 LFAs. Keep that in mind. This is going to be a much higher volume model. They're calling it a catalog model. That means you'll be able to pick one out. to custom design it, and Lexus, in theory, would be able to make it for you. 64 of those 500 LFAs were the LFA Nürburgring editions, and with this sort of model, it's just going to have a lot more variety, more custom. You should be able to sit down at your local Lexus dealer and be able to make this vehicle. If it's called the LFR, that's great, but it also could be called the Lexus GT3 or the Lexus Super Sports, right? Because they're saying in this, they're just referring it to the GR Super Sports right now, which gets confusing, right? And I'm going to try to tackle this right now, is that if they call this model and badge it as a GR, but sold as a Lexus in a Lexus dealership, it just gets super confusing. Unless Toyota and Lexus plan on doing something radical here and departing from the F lineup. And I think that this is a 50-50 chance. Lexus F Sport, Lexus F Sport Performance. We can say that it hasn't been that successful. Toyota wants to have their racing brand front and center, even if it's appearing on a Lexus model. So this could be the LFR, like the GR LFR. Could it be called that? It's a possibility. Well, I think it'd just be better off called the Lexus GT3. I just want to see some more clarity here, I guess. Now, obviously, this is all rumors, but hopefully when this vehicle is announced, we just don't have, we have the GR Racing badge inside of the Lexus lineup, as well as the F branding alongside of the G. Like, just make it simple. Completely kill off F if you're going to do this. Yes, it would suck from, I don't know, a nostalgic aspect with the original ISF, the GSF, but F is all but dead. The F Sports are a sad remnant of what was the F brand that the ISF debuted back in the late 2000s. And gosh, what was the newest F model they made? The RCF and the GSF? They pulled the plug on the LCF. Like, there's no flagship F product right now other than the RCF being limped along. Yeah, it would make sense for Lexus to kill F for GR. Is that going to be what customers want? I don't know, but I hope they're pretty clear about this. And it does give me something to get excited for, because F has been abandoned. F has been not a priority for Lexus and Toyota, a high-performance Lexus F model. So maybe they're saying, hey, we're doubling down on Lexus performance. We're going to retire F, and we're going to have GR as the Lexus performance brand, as it is the Toyota performance brand. But also, you guys comment down below what your thoughts of Lexus retiring F and replacing it with GR. All right, so let's talk about pricing here. They're saying the price previously would be kept below 20 million yen, which is a rough conversion to about $125,000. But now is expected to rise further to nearly 30 million yen, which now we're talking about 190,000 US dollars. That's a possibility. Now, remember, the LFA was about $350,000. Those are all worth like into the millions at this point. It's collector's car because they only made 500. These I don't think will be able to appreciate like the LFA did with the V10 and such a low volume and bespoke sort of vehicle. This being a catalog model with such high volume, this is in theory they can make over 1,000 a year of this sort of car. All right, depending on demand. And at $200,000, is there going to be that many buyers? I think they need this car to be around $150,000, but even then, that's still very, very high. I know it's a twin turbo V8. I know you could get even more performance with the hybrid variants here, up to 900 horsepower. And availability, fall of 2025 is a possibility. Debut in October 2025. Well, just because it debuts in late 2025 doesn't mean it's going to be available in 2025. All right. And I would assume most of these models, since it's a catalog, you're going to want to custom order it. And that will, add several months into the process as well. So 900 horsepower potentially out of this. And if it's 900 horsepower rear wheel drive, This sort of vehicle would be fighting the likes of the ZR1, right? The ZR1 Corvette coming out, which is twin turbo V8, around 1,000 horsepower. So that car is going to be insane. But look, here's the price of the ZR1 Corvette, around $180,000 up to around $205,000. If Lexus has that sort of performance, yeah, they're gonna want to charge around there. Now, can Lexus get away with charging that much? It'll be interesting. It's a new car, so it has no history. It has no clout to it. This LFR or GR Super Sports, whatever they're going to call it. So can they go ahead and say, hey, we can call this a $200,000 car and it's going to compete with the Corvette? The thing is, the Corvette will still probably beat it, being a true mid-engine vehicle. Weight distribution here on this vehicle could also be close to 50-50, or maybe even more rear weight focus than we think, even though it has a V8, and the V8 sits in front of the passengers instead of in the Corvette, which is behind them. So I would assume it would compete in theory with the ZR1 Corvette. But I think it would have a better shot at doing that as a Lexus model than a Toyota model. And I think you guys would agree with that. Give it a super nice interior, give it elite build qualities we know the Japanese are able to do. We're not going to have to wait too much longer. They keep testing this vehicle on multiple markets. And maybe you guys are asking, well, what's going to happen to the LC500? Hopefully Lexus keeps the LC500 around as long as possible. That's not the same sort of vehicle as this whatsoever, just because it's a coupe. That's more of a luxury grand touring coupe with a beautiful exterior, beautiful interior, beautiful naturally aspirated V8. Not talking about the hybrid. Don't buy the hybrid LC. That's a sin. And then the RC would be discontinued as well. So the RC and the LC are both expected to be discontinued. I don't want the LC to be discontinued, but it probably will be, and they'll replace it with some sort of new coupe to sit under this GR Super Sports LFR thing. So I'm excited. I'll see you guys in the comments. Stay tuned for more updates on this. And yes, I have more videos to make on more vehicles that are discussed in this article today, like the CX-5, for example, maybe the new Leaf, if you guys want to see that baby FJ Cruiser. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and possibly maybe that next one is 2025. That's exciting. And maybe this vehicle comes out in 2025. That would be a great Christmas present going into 2026. All right, peace out.